All right, everybody. Welcome back to the locker room, guys. This is your boy Watto Balto back with Watto Smitty and Watto Kai. And we got a special guest tonight, everybody. We got Watto Truin in the building. Good one for you guys tonight. We talked a little bit about it last week, and now we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about an NFL draft recap, the goods, the bads, the uglies from the first and second rounds, who we think came out better for it, and who we think just dropped the ball completely in the first and second rounds of the 2026 NFL draft. Smitty, you want to talk a little bit about that and where your heart's at with it?
Oh yeah. I mean, absolutely. So just to touch on that a little bit here. I mean, so tonight we're gonna be talking probably a little bit about the first round mostly. I would say we'll probably get into the second round a little bit, depending on how long these discussions get. Because I mean, there are 32 picks in the first round. There's a lot to go over. Probably not gonna cover all of them. But we'll see how far we get and so on and so forth. But we're gonna go into some of our favorite picks and who we liked, what we disliked, if we think the teams made the right pick. Keep in mind these are all opinion based. Kyle, you wanna hit it up a little bit over there?
Yeah, I think we'll go more along our team. I mean, we're all four of us have a team that we all like, so we'll
Yeah.
probably talk a
Okay.
little bit about that. I think we can go over all these picks, go down in order from like I guess 1 to 32, and we can rate them. We can give them a rating too, like A, B,
Ooh,
C.
I
What do you
actually
think?
like that idea a lot. I like that.
All right, Watto Truin, the special guest, might be joining us more frequently here on our chats here on Locker Room Guys. Watto Truin, how did you feel, and what do you think mostly overall about the first round of the draft?
Overall, I mean, we all knew. I'm pretty sure within the first two or three picks that Mr. Mendoza out of Indiana was going to end up getting drafted to one of the first top three picks. With the Raiders taking him first, I think that's a big step forward for them. Um, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, the Raiders still obviously need a defense, but I think that for them getting a franchise quarterback, hopefully for this near future, was good for the Raiders.
I like that. Sure, I'm gonna talk in a little bit on that real quick, just because I saw a lot of people, a lot of the broadcast specialists, the ESPN announcers themselves are, is Mendoza the guy that gets them through, or is he another, JJ McCarthy that just isn't ready for the limelight type of situation yet, all the hype surrounding him and everything, is he going to start for the Raiders this year, or what's going to happen with him? Anyone else got another opinion on this man?
I think I'll
I
start.
have an opinion. Yeah, I have an opinion on him as well. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Kyle. But my opinion is listen, we all knew who the Raiders were going with. I mean, this has been
Yeah,
talked about since like 6 months ago. I feel like pretty much
yeah.
he
No, it
won the
was no
yeah
surprise
yeah.
that
It
he
was no
went
surprise.
overall.
Like it was no surprise. Was it? Is it gonna fix the Raiders? I guess that's the big call that everybody's saying. Now let's not
Not,
lie
not,
and didn't.
not. I wouldn't say that. Is it going to fix their offense? Because it's
Yes.
not going to
Okay.
fix the whole team.
Yeah. Correct. So is it gonna fix the offense? My personal opinion, no, absolutely not. And this is the
No.
reasons why. Fernando Mendoza it could be a great quarterback. He has all of the attributes of being great in the NFL. 6'4", 236 pounds, good arm, solid accuracy, can move around in the pocket. That's great. They still have no offensive line. They still have no they still have no offensive line, and they still have no wide receivers. Who is he throwing to? Like, who is he gonna throw the ball to? At at best, who is he throwing the
I
ball to?
mean, their number one is Trey Tucker.
That again, who's he gonna throw the ball to? Trey Tucker is not a top 30 wide receiver.
No.
No, he's
Not.
not. You're correct.
He's not. So, and we're getting a special guest joining in, Miguel. Miguel, welcome in, buddy. Glad you could make it to the locker room, guys. Just getting over the first round pick. We're talking about Fernando Mendoza and what he does for the Raiders going forward and that Raiders offense. So just to piggyback and kind of finish off of my thought process is he has no one to throw to besides Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is a
Yeah.
phenomenal tight end. He has a running back in the backfield that he can dump pass to. Absolutely. But
Yeah, I
as
mean
far
Ashton
as a
Gentry did
physical
solid for him this year.
yeah, but as a physical threat downfield besides your tight end, he's got nothing. They did nothing to bolster around him.
No,
Not an offensive
no.
line to help him out, not a receiver to help him out. So, yeah, he's going to go in there probably 1-2 years. He's going to struggle. I'm going to take a hot take right now and say that I think the Raiders still have a top 5 pick next year.
Ooh, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I'd have to
Oh, for
agree
sure.
with that.
I agree with that
I
too.
agree.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean they
So,
took
we're
a
all in
lot of
agreement.
defense. They took a lot of defensive weaponry for sure, except for that Texas A&M. They took a center out of Texas A&M, didn't they? In like
I
the third or
believe so.
fourth.
Yeah,
They
something like
signed.
that.
They
Joe
So
Gardner
signed.
center, yeah.
They
I
signed
honestly think that
Linderbaum.
the Ra- yeah, Linderbaum.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
did.
that's true. Yeah, they did sign Leonard. Yeah.
I was gonna say I think the Raiders had the best draft, honestly, in this year's draft.
The best overall draft.
The best overall draft. Yeah, I think the
Really?
Raiders. Yeah, I think the Raiders drafted. Man, if you go see, they even got. I know
I
that
would have said Tennessee in my opinion, but hey.
Me.
Tennessee. I also like the Ravens draft too.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
like the
throw out.
Cardinals draft.
I'm gonna throw out a big one. No, I see Truin. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm gonna disagree with you. Jeremiah Love is a great pickup. Horrible at number 3.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
You
No,
need
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
much
have
more.
to
not have went third. I agree
No,
with that.
no.
He shouldn't have been in the third pick for sure.
No,
like
I
like
mean
That
they
was
already
very
have a running
not.
back.
Yeah, that was average.
Yeah, I
I
mean, we're
mean,
all
Yeah,
sitting here saying our opinions once again. Like
yeah.
everyone in there is getting paid big money to see something that we're not seeing, and I guess we'll see it out in the field. But
Yep.
is he enough to go both ways with James Conner? I don't know. James Conner's been struggling a lot with injuries lately, so we'll see what happens in that field.
And here I'm gonna throw out a different team that y'all might not be thinking about. Probably gonna rub us sideways a little bit, especially most of us boys being AFC North fans. The Browns.
Browns had a good pick, dude.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Browns
Browns
they
had
had
did.
great
a
picks.
fire
Great.
draft, and they
Yep.
are considered one of the tops. You know, another one. This is our boy Miggy Mags. Miggy Money. The Chiefs didn't do
Kansas
bad.
City.
They drafted up. They got that nice cornerback out of LSU.
Nah, dude.
Mansoor.
Yeah, I
The
mean the
Browns
number
got that nice receiver, dude.
they
Casey's
did.
nice.
They did. And Philly
Yeah,
jumping
they did.
Pittsburgh. Let's not forget about Philly
Oh
jumping
yeah,
Pittsburgh to take
yeah,
Philly
Makai
jumping
Lemon.
yeah, stole.
Pittsburgh to
Let's not
take
forget
Kai
that.
Fucking
Lemon,
stole that
dude.
bitch, bro.
I knew that was coming out sooner than later.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
was
That was
I
so
mean,
that
funny.
was crazy.
you just got to look at the team. I mean, but getting back to it, there's a lot of guys that did very well. But overall, we all
I
are in
also think the
agreement.
Giants did really well, especially for who they picked up in the trade before the draft.
Oh yeah.
If you want to give an overall of who did the best in the offseason, I'd give it to the fucking Giants right now. All in
Absolutely.
all, the
But
Giants went from a maybe a contender to 100%, no doubt in my mind this year,
Yeah.
making the playoffs.
Yeah,
they
Especially with John Harbaugh
if
as coach.
everyone stays
correct.
fucking
Dude,
healthy.
Jackson Dart, Cam Scott, everyone stays healthy. You get Malik Neighbors back week four,
Yeah,
5.
that's
Good
deadly,
luck,
Yeah,
bro.
they
dude.
got
But
Yeah,
likely.
that's
here's my
They
deadly.
only
got
downside to that. Here's
Ricard.
my only
Yeah, no,
downside to
that's
that.
a dangerous offense.
And
Yeah,
I'll tell you my
Ricard
only
now.
downside. Yeah, yes, they have Patrick Ricard. They have Isaiah Likely. They have Jordan Stout. They have half of the Ravens team. The
Yep.
Giants have everyone.
They sure fucking
Um,
do.
the only thing I don't like about the Giants picks is how you leave Caleb Downs on the board, and you take a offensive tackle in Francis Magoa with a bad back that has hindered him through 3 of his 4 years of college. You're
Yeah,
taking
I
a
kind
you're
of
t-
I
yeah.
agree with
I'm
that, but
sorry.
I see them wanting to protect more of Cam and Jackson.
Understand that,
But
but you just
I
dropped the
mean,
number one guy in
it's
the
got to
draft,
hold up
probably.
for sure. I
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
I mean,
It's a high risk situation
yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
between Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, they were arguably considered two of the best prospects in the entire draft.
Yeah, passing
Yeah.
Like
on Caleb Downs
overall, and you
is
let
crazy to
yeah,
me.
and you give it to your rival.
Yep.
The Cowboys swoop up, trade up one spot with the Dolphins, give up a couple of minuscule later round picks to get arguably the one of the best players in this draft. Now the Giants
Yeah.
did do very well earlier when they went out and smacked up Arvell Reese, who was arguably again the best player in the draft period, is what a lot of people said. So Arvell Reese dropping to them was highly considered not to happen. A lot of people thought the Jets were going to take him at 2. They took a different pick. They took the other guy. They took the edge rusher out of Tech, David Bailey. We could talk about the Jets in their draft because they're the number
I
2
was
and up next.
I was just about to say the Jets draft. I mean, if you look at it, they got David Bailey, Sadiq, they got Omar Cooper and D'Angelo Pons from Indiana. Like they had a really good, and they got Clay Klubnik from Clemson. They had a really good draft.
Well, they also, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, Miggy, they had 3 first-round picks. Am I correct on that?
3, yeah.
Yep.
3.
A
Okay.
2, a 16, and a 30.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yep.
So they got 3 picks. So yeah, not saying the Jets didn't do bad. Me
Yeah, but 3
personally,
first-round picks is
Yeah.
huge.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
first round. I mean, now here's where the problem lies with 3 first-round picks, boys and girls, is you got to pay all these cats in 4 to 5 years.
Yep.
That's
the
3
thing.
guys you got to pay in 4 to 5 years.
They're
And
still
you,
window shopping
yeah.
at this point.
And if they're all good, that's big money coming off that salary cap if you got to pay all 3 of them caps,
Oh
or
yeah.
you're losing someone.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking
But
of Sadiq,
yeah, so let's roll on. So the Jets were at number 2. We think they had a decent draft. We talked about the Cardinals a little bit and how our feelings are on the Jeremiah Love pickup at 3. I personally think they reached a little bit on that. Not saying he wasn't the best running back on the draft, but does that running back position for the Cardinals change their dynamics of winning? And my answer is a big thumbs down, no. They already have a
No.
viable running back with a viable backup. You pick up another guy just to throw in the mix. It doesn't help out that whoever the quarterback incumbent's going to be, with Kyler Murray being out of there. It doesn't help their Marvin Harrison being on an island by himself on one side of the field with nobody to help. It doesn't help take the pressure off Trey McBride. It doesn't help the O-line where they need a lot of help because Kyler, let's be real, he might have got traded to Minnesota and he probably got on that plane with his hands together praying that thank you, because he was tired of getting smacked all over the field because his offensive line can't stop a hot nosebleed. My opinion, but where are you guys at with the Cardinals? I know Truant said a little bit about he thought it was a decent draft, but Smitty, how the rest of y'all feeling about it?
Nah, like I already gave my opinion on that. I mean, I'll give it one more time
Yeah.
again just for a refresher. I mean, like I said, is he gonna be a good duo? Like anytime I look at a duo, I think of like Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery for the Lions. Now that they've split their ways and everything like that, that was a really good duo as a running back team. So does he complement the James Conner who's struggling with injuries the past 2 years? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, but I agree with Ryan's take on that. That it's just not gonna be the one to flip the script and make them all of a sudden great team out the backfield that's gonna win and go to the playoffs every single year.
I mean, and let's look at the division they're in, guys, right? Kyle, you want to talk a little bit about the division they're in and why this doesn't help them going forward? I mean, they're in a pretty rough division, to say the least.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think their pick was so dumb. Like I don't know. Their pick did like at 3. It's kind of crazy. But I mean, you got
To take a running back for the Cardinals,
yeah,
like, I agree
but
with
I
that
mean,
statement,
but
Kyle, so
you
much.
got
It's
you
so
got like
hard.
the Seahawks also. Like first off, the Seahawks probably going to be a powerhouse team. And
Maybe.
the 49ers and Rams. Yeah, I mean the Seahawks are well coached.
Oh
They
yes,
can't
but
give
now
me
they're
over
going
the
to
hump.
struggle in the running back game right now, in my opinion. We'll see.
They lost
Kenneth
hard.
Walker going
They
to the
lost hard
Chiefs.
pieces. Yeah, they lost hard
Yeah.
pieces, and that's another thing you gotta look at the Chiefs, and we'll get to them later. But taking Kenneth Walker to completely bolster their running game, picking up the right pieces in the draft. I
Yep.
mean, you got to put them back in playoff
Playoff
watch.
I
contention.
mean
Yeah,
they
I mean,
Number one, especially.
especially if
I mean, no,
Patty could
that's
come
the
back
thing.
at a
You need to see if
reasonable
Patty
time.
comes back healthy. I mean,
Yep.
obviously it's Patrick fucking Mahomes. He should come back healthy, but some people don't come back from injuries the same. So we'll see if he's one of them people or not. You know, it's the
You're not
first
wrong.
big injury for him. I am scared about it. I don't like facing him all the time because he's in our division. But I give the guy credit
Probably.
where credit's due, and I just don't want to see that be the end of his legacy, especially as young as it is and as well as it's going.
Who's
Yeah.
who's even quarterbacking for the Cardinals? Do they even have like a franchise quarterback lined up, or they just
I don't even know.
they
I don't even
just
know.
they just like they shopping? They just signing people off
Pretty
the
much,
street.
dude. Yeah.
Like
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying. You take in a 3, you have a whole board of draft picks, and you go with something that doesn't significantly change your like a running back. I don't care how good a running back is, they're not going to
I
change your
don't even
offense
say it
like that.
complements your offense like that, though.
No, like I just think it was stupid.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
and
I'm
that's
gonna
where
say all in all, bad pick.
and we're gonna tally that straight in if you guys want to. We could tally that straight into the fourth pick. I'm sorry, another bad pick in my opinion.
See,
Another horrible
I
pick.
don't mind this for the
I do.
Titans, but at the same time, I agree. Like, who's gonna throw him the ball right now?
Not
Because
Cam Ward. I'm
I
not
was
worried
about to say
about that.
Cam Ward ain't gonna.
He is. Carnell Tate was not the pick at 4. You could have picked Makai Lemon. You could have picked Jordan Tyson. You could have picked 4 other receivers that were better than Carnell Tate this year. And you picked
Like I
the
said,
number.
they see something that they're getting
Wait,
paid a
wait.
lot
Maybe
of
they
money
do.
to see some stuff we don't,
Yeah.
You
Ryan.
don't think Carnell Tate was the best wide receiver in the draft?
No, not absolutely not. No, I do not. Not even close. Makai Lemon and Jordan Tyson were both better than him, and they showed it in college. They were better. They were better picks. He was just on a more stout team. Ohio State is always great. Was he? Was he some of the one of the best that has come out of Ohio State as a wide receiver? Not even close. I wouldn't even put him top 10
Yeah, Makai and
of
Jordan are
wide
pretty
receiver.
good. I'm not
That's what
gonna
I'm
lie.
saying. The other 2 guys are dogs, and they are
Dogs.
physically, in my opinion, better than him. This dude is 6'2",
Yeah, like I expect
193
Jordan
pounds.
Tyson to do really well this year. I
Yeah.
expect him to probably maybe on the Saints if they have a decent quarterback to throw, gets 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think the other 2 were better. My opinion. I could be wrong, and maybe I will eat crow for this later on. But no, I do not believe that Carnell Tate was better than either of the other 2 that were taken later in the first round. I think Jordan
Yeah.
Tyson was better, and I think Makai Lemon was better. I think the Eagles personally got the perfect replacement for AJ Brown.
Yeah.
And Dallas
Yeah.
gave it to him.
I
And
agree.
Dallas gave it to
Yeah.
him. And Dallas
Yeah.
gave it to him. Handed
Oh,
it to
Gave
him.
it,
Pittsburgh.
Speaking of
They just
Dallas,
wanted to steal it in front of Pittsburgh because they knew Pittsburgh was going to take him.
speaking of Dallas, real
Pittsburgh-
quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
do they get rid of Pickens?
No, he just signed his
no,
franchise
no, he
tag
just
today.
got
Did
his
he?
franchise tag.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
signed
Oh.
it today.
Just got his
Yep.
franchise.
Fuck,
Yeah,
shit.
he just signed it. Now, here we could get back into the draft.
Oh, I'd be
but
pissed
quick
if I was
thing on
him.
George Pickens. Let's kind of filter off that. Do you think they gave him a franchise tag to try to move him to get more draft capital down the road and kind of sew him up so people can't take him, or do you
No,
think they signed it to
I
give
think
him
he
something?
honestly, if you want my honest opinion after
Mhm.
watching him this year, I think he ropes into CD Lamb's replacement. And I fully admit
Well,
to
they
that.
signed CD.
I think CD's getting old. He'll start
No, he's
making
not.
less money as the year
No, he's
gets going. I'm just saying.
Didn't you just get a
CD's
contract
progress has
last year?
steadily gone down.
CeeDee Lamb's
So
not
we'll
old.
see. We'll see. I'm just saying. I think he's going to be his replacement.
I think
George
CD's
Pickens.
still in his prime.
George Pickens'
Yeah, he's in
hands
his
are
prime.
glue.
He's in his
Okay.
prime.
CD's nice.
George is
I just think
25. CD is 27.
I think CD's progression has gone down because now that there is 2 actual good wide receivers on the same team. Before, when it was CD Lamb as your primary and their wide receiver 2 wasn't as strong as George Pickens, obviously they're going to prefer to throw it to CD Lamb.
Even when
Yep.
CD was hurt, no, we can go right into this right now. Even when CD was hurt and that man was double covered, he still caught the ball. Ryan was there. It's his second favorite team in the league. He
He is.
knows.
I know.
Like George Pickens has hands of freaking glue.
But here's the problem. The minute that CD came back and started getting some of the ball, what did George Pickens do? The second half of the season.
I mean, he
Look,
evened
no,
out with him, but
no,
he
he
still
didn't even
had
out.
100-yard games.
No, he fell off. He fell off.
Not really.
Look
I
at his
don't. I
numbers.
don't think
Look
that
at
at
his
all.
numbers from when CD was out to when CD came back, and you will see completely different George Pickens. Because the guy I know that is a complete fan will say day in and day out that when CD came back, George Pickens gave up to prove a point, which George did this with the Steelers, and now he's doing it with the Cowboys to prove a point to say, I'm that guy, pay me. If you do not, I'm gonna show you why you need to pay me.
But he used to not be on a
balls that he
team.
could have easily catch for 20, 30, 40 yards. He started not getting open as much.
He did it against Pittsburgh.
Yes, his TD
Yeah.
production went way down from
Yeah,
what it
I'm not gonna
was.
disagree with that.
Like George Pickens, the problem with Pickens and the reason that they are not even discussing a long-term contract with him this year, per the executive vice president Stephen Jones, is because if you tick him off, he stops playing.
I mean, I'm just saying you can't be mad at the guy. I'd be a little salty too if I was putting up 120 yards on an average in 3 or 4 games. You bring this dude back, start giving him the ball. CD was also dropping passes too. Let's be honest here. His hands weren't too great this year too.
Yep, but
And
CD's the
then
one.
and then I know, but then George all of a sudden starts getting it less. I'd be a little ticked off too. I'd be like, dude, I just put my heart out on the line for you, put up 120 yards a game for the past 3, and now you don't even want to look my way. Fuck you. I'd be a little pissed too. I'm
But
just saying.
but here's the problem with that. That is football. That you've got
I
to
get that. Yeah,
you
no,
got to be a
absolutely.
You got to be a professional. And
I get that.
George acts like a
Oh no, yeah, he definitely
whole little girl about it. He acts like
Yeah,
a
he
whole
definitely
little
did.
girl about it.
I
Like you
agree.
can't do
I
that.
agree.
You got to be. You want the big money. You want 30 mil a year, like CD's got, like Jamar's got. You want this number one receiver money. You got to act like that number one receiver. He doesn't. He acts like a little girl when he doesn't get his way, and he stomps his feet and he throws a tantrum, and that's why he's never gotten the money he wanted. That's why Pittsburgh traded him. That's why now Dallas ain't giving it to him because he acts like a prima donna when he doesn't get his way.
Cough,
I
cough,
agree.
AJ Brown.
All right, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's hop back in this
Yeah,
draft
sorry,
a little bit
sorry,
here.
let's
But
get
yeah,
back into
no,
it.
I
We
agree.
went
I
way
agree with that.
offline.
Full.
My bad, guys. We went way off. All right,
Yeah,
back
you
into it. All right, so we're gonna jump to number 5. We're gonna jump to probably, and anybody disagree with this? I want to show hands because I'm gonna say right now, probably the best off season of any team in the NFL, sitting with
Arval
the New
Reese?
York Giants. No,
Yeah.
the off
The
season.
Giants as a whole, yeah, no,
Yes,
they're
the
pretty
Giants
much
as
the
a
New
whole
York.
in the
They're the
offseason.
New York Ravens. They're the New
Yes.
York Ravens.
They picked up so many pieces that they were struggling with. Fullback, they didn't have one. Oh, they get the best one in the league. Tight end, the tight ends were mid with Theo Johnson, and they get Isaiah Likely. You know, they
He's a
didn't
dog.
have. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have a lot of pieces, and the Ravens weren't able to pay all of the pieces, so they just picked and plucked whatever they needed right off of our roster.
Let's not check alone our
on
head
this year,
coach.
dude.
So the
Yeah.
fucking
So
Ravens
let's
wanted
not,
to pay
let's
the
not
wrong
forget
tight
they
end.
took our whole ass head coach out of there. Like
They're gonna be so fun to bet
Yeah.
on this year, though.
They are. And here's a big thing with Malik Labor's coming
Scadaboo's
back.
coming back.
Yeah, Scadaboo coming back, Malik coming back, and then they add some big pieces on defense. They add Arvell
Safety.
Reese. They add linebacker. They added
yeah.
Arvell Reese
Reese
at
is-
Yeah,
linebacker.
they got a
Caleb
safety too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was later on. Yeah, we'll talk about that down the line. But and then they turn around and again, I've already picked my displeasure with their second pick because their defense is in mad need of help right now in the secondary, and you leave arguably the best secondary guy on the boat. So, let's go into it. How are we feeling about the Giants after the draft? Are we feeling they're a contender, a pretender? Where are we at with that?
I think they overall did significant whenever they gave Dexter Lawrence to Cincinnati and took their 10th first-round draft pick when they only had one draft pick in the entire first round. And then they went ahead and obviously, like we said, got Arvell Reese, like great pickup overall.
Okay. Miggy, how you feeling about the Giants overall? Where you think they stack up this year, sir?
I'm gonna do a hot take here. I think the Giants win their division this year.
I agree.
I
I'm
agree.
with that.
Also
Yep,
agree.
you're not. You're that. Yeah, we're all. I think we've been talking about this offset, guys, since the draft. I think the Giants win the division. I don't think the Eagles or the
Yeah.
Cowboys have
Bro,
or the
yeah,
Skins have anything for them.
honestly, I see them making a contention for the Super Bowl this year. I'm not even
Yeah, I
capping with you.
could
I
Yeah.
see
think
it.
Jackson. I
Yeah.
think everyone on that offense this year has the spunk and the fucking the the skill to make it there and
The
compete.
the only thing I'll
Hmm.
say to the downside of that is they have a they have a Super Bowl winning head coach, a multiple playoff head coach. Is Jackson Dart, Cam, and those younger boys on that squad, can they live up to that hype to get to the Super Bowl? It's hard to get to the
Oh
Super
yeah,
Bowl, gentlemen. We know
yeah,
this.
for
It's
Oh,
sure.
2 out of 32 that make it every year. It's not a
yeah.
lot. So, do
Then
they
you got
have
teams like
enough?
the Chiefs, the
Yeah.
Bills, the Ravens, the oh my goodness, dude. Like there's so many.
The
Well,
Bengals,
and let's not, yeah, and let's not even talk about the NFC because you have, you're sitting with the Bears, you're sitting with
Rams.
the Rams, you're sitting with the
Rams,
Seahawks,
Seahawks, you're sitting with all these
Seahawks,
teams in the NFC.
the
You're sitting
Niners,
still with
maybe.
the let's not forget about the
Niners,
Pack and the Niners. You're sitting with a lot of
Packers.
people.
Oh
Like
my
there's a
goodness.
lot of people. Like can they?
The
Absolutely, I'll agree with y'all.
Lions.
Yes. Do I believe that they do it?
Go
It,
Bears.
Go Bears.
it's gonna be a rough tread for John Harbaugh and his young team because a lot of his team is young. Malik Neighbors is only what 3 4 year guy, and he's their longest tenure. They lost Wandell to the Titans.
Hmm.
So Wandell's gone, who was Malik Neighbors' number two, who had to jump into the number one spot when Malik went down with his injury. But I think they picked up some very good pieces to the puzzle. I still think at 10, I wish they would have went with Caleb Downs because they could have picked up an O tackle way later that could have been a project piece because they have two O tackles that aren't horrible. They have a fullback now to block the quarterback. So Patrick Ricard makes up for a lot of that O tackle problem that they might have had because Patrick Ricard is 310 pounds of stupid muscle that can knock a defensive edge rusher right off his feet. So they
And we'll
already had
score
made
five
up for that.
touchdowns for
Yeah,
them this
yeah,
year. I'm
that's what I'm
calling it
saying.
right now.
Yeah, so they made up for a lot to protect Jackson Dart, and then they picked up a guy. I'm sorry, with back issues, known back issues, that could tweak it in week one, two, three training camp and not even play a snap at number
Yeah.
10. At number 10.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Like, that's just where I'm at with that one. But yeah.
So
So,
my
how.
hot take wasn't
uh,
even a hot take then, because we all
No,
feel the
yeah,
same. Then.
we all. Well, it is a hot take because I don't know that the world overall, Miggy, feels that way. But I know that we've been talking about it for a hot minute, and we all
Dude,
feel that way. Now, maybe we
I'll,
have a little bit of
Giants,
nostalgia.
Giants,
Yeah,
Giants.
maybe we have a little nostalgia because that's our head coach. That well, at least I'm in agreement. I don't think he should have been fired. That's my opinion.
Nah,
no,
man.
it shouldn't have.
Okay, see, so I don't think he should have been fired. But here we are. Now we got Jesse Minter, and
Now you got
he-
Diego,
oh my God,
Diego.
Diego
Yeah,
Pavi.
dude. Nah,
That
nah,
could
nah.
be a
Hey,
whole
Sean
conversation.
McDermott wasn't enough. Let him go win a Super Bowl with Seattle, though. Hey.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson to Miami, and then Diego takes over. Is all I'm saying.
and I'll stop being a Ravens fan tomorrow. Hot take right there. I
I'm
will
now a
stop being
Giants
a
fan.
Ravens fan tomorrow. I am now a Giants fan. I just became a New
Straight
York
up a
Giants fan
Giants
overnight.
fan.
They got picked up on the
Okay.
bandwagon train.
So then we're gonna kick around. I mean, it's like being a Ravens fan because half their team is Ravens, ex-Ravens. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's like being the Ravens. So it's just blue instead of purple. It's close
The New
enough.
York Ravens.
it's like the Los Angeles Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
Just add
So
a little
we
bit of red to that shade of blue, and it looks like
well,
purple. We'll be
well,
fine.
and the New York Football Giants have red in it, so they have red and blue. You put it together, it's purple. We're good. Um, anyway, we digress.
baby.
So then we jump into the number 6 spot. Everybody, how does everybody feel about the Chiefs trading up 3 spots with the
Woo!
Browns to get Mansoor Delane, the cornerback out of LSU? How does
Hey,
everyone feel about that pick?
all I'm gonna say is personally, I thought that the need to trade up, what I think he would have still been available at number 9, but I mean I don't know anything.
Miggy, you have my
Obviously,
heart. No, you have my heart. He would have been there at 9.
yeah, he would have been there at 9 for
He would
sure.
have been there at 9.
I didn't understand the reasoning in jumping up, but I mean I think obviously best corner in the league, gonna fill some big shoes with McDuffie being gone. I think it's a great pick. I just don't know about the whole trading up 3 picks. I think he would have been there. So, but
I'm gonna have to agree and well said.
Yep,
You know,
I'm with him. I mean, my biggest thing is
that's a
yes.
great
Yeah,
opinion. I think he definitely would have been there too. I mean, the only other team I honestly think might have done it over him. Never mind.
no,
I just
I don't see one. I don't see one. I'm
I
looking at
don't. Yeah,
everybody
I
in front
don't.
of him. I don't see it.
I mean, Washington needed
Was
that
gonna take
linebacker.
Sunny
I
Styles.
mean,
They were gonna take Styles.
I know I was gonna pick them, but they needed the linebacker,
They
so
did.
there's no reason to pass up on Sonny.
No.
Like he
yeah,
would have definitely been there.
Yeah, he would have been there. And you gave up two later round picks to get a guy that was going to be sitting there at 9. Now I get, listen, it's draft day. There's going to be some, oh my God, got to go. Don't want to take the chance, you know? There's going to be some of that. I think the Chiefs shouldn't have traded up. I think they should have just sat tight, even if they didn't. That honestly, let's be real. Realistically, skill wise, Mansour Delane was the second best cornerback in the draft this year.
what?
The number one,
Second?
Yeah,
yes,
I don't agree with that.
okay, and I'll tell you why. The number one guy that was in the draft this year was the cornerback out of Tennessee. The only
Yeah.
reason he didn't get drafted is because he has a degenerative knee issue. The dude had more pass
Mm,
breakups, the dude had more interceptions, the dude had more deflections. He was the best cornerback, but he has a knee issue that at some point is going to end his football career.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
True.
only reason he didn't get drafted above Mansour Delane. If he did not have that, that Tennessee cornerback, and I'm an SEC football guys. You all know this. I'm a Texas A&M fan in college.
okay.
That Tennessee guy is a dog. Problem
Dog.
is his knee's gonna be uh, puppy food, and I'm talking the wet kind in literally three
Fat
Damn!
years.
dog food.
In
No
three
way.
years.
No.
Like I'm talking the wet kind in like 3 years, and he's going to be done. So the person that picked him up is trying to get short-term gains. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
Mansoor can be a 10, 12, 14-year cornerback. He's got the body for it, the structure. And he doesn't have a degenerative knee issue. He's 6 foot. He's 190 pounds. He's physical. The boy can fight in the pocket. Like he can fight. He can get the
Hmm.
picks. He's great. But if that other boy wouldn't have that knee issue, I think Kansas City might have been trading up for that Tennessee cornerback, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And that,
Also,
we're sitting here talking about that. That could have been the reasoning all along that they traded up and made a last minute
mhm,
decision
Mhm.
on Mansoor instead of the other dude. You know what I mean? Because they were like, oh, that dude might not be there. Yeah,
Yep.
who
yeah.
knows? Like I
Because
said,
Also,
there was
they're in a
needs.
room getting paid a lot of money to do what we're just opinionating right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
Looking at that, the Chiefs trade or the Chiefs draft and like as a whole, I think that the Chiefs are really banking on these offensive coaches coming in and changing this offense because if you look at our draft, I mean the Chiefs really did not attack no offensive line. They got two receivers late round, but they attack defense. I mean they attack defense. That's all they got is defense. So I'm thinking that they're really banking on the enemy coming in here and changing things around. Hopefully he
Yep.
does. Not sure, but
Round two
I
was an
think
edge. You're right. Round two was an edge rusher. I'm looking
yep.
through it. I just want to see the whole draft. I'm trying to see where KC. You didn't have a third rounder at all.
Nope.
Okay, so we hit to the fourth. There goes Gerard McCoy. Oh man, he could have been great, but he's. Then you hit a safety, so there's another one in the fourth round in Jaden Kennedy. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys went heavy defense through the first
Yeah.
multiple
Heavy.
rounds. And just
They
to let
didn't attack
everybody know,
anything
yeah,
on offensive line, which is kind of, I mean, it was kind of concerning just because, I mean, Mahomes was getting crushed all last year. I mean, he's been getting crushed. That right tackle, I mean, we got to
That's
figure
why I was
something
very
out.
surprised.
I mean that's what
Yeah.
we did. I mean look what we did. We let our right guard who was lost in the sauce all last season. We let him go back to Johnny Harbaugh at the Giants, old Falalele. You know,
Lele.
let them have him. You know, because oh my God, was that boy
Man,
lost? I cannot wait to see Vega. Like I am pumped for that. We will talk about the Ravens later. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But no,
if some,
overall,
if,
I feel like the Chiefs, and I'll go on another take. I don't like Kansas City. We all know this. But I think they addressed needs that they hadn't addressed in a long time, which was defense. Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes had gotten them through so much stuff off of his just pure talent. And with Travis Kelsey getting older, and with, the receivers you have now, like, they had never focused on the defensive side of the ball. And then they go and let Trent McDuffie go. And everybody's like, what are you doing? Like, you're
Yeah.
letting go your best piece on defense when you already don't have a
Agreed.
defense.
Man, we
Agreed.
lost so many defensive pieces. I mean, Jalen
Yeah.
Watson, McDuffie,
What?
Leo
Yeah.
Chanel.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people gone. It's going to look really
Like
different
you
this year.
mentioned earlier, McDuffie. That's a huge loss, dude.
But that's why they drafted Mansoor, and I guess they moved up. It was kind of a panic move the way we're looking at it, but to them, it's probably not a panic move because they knew they had to fill that spot. Losing Trent
Yeah.
was huge. Taking the
I
number
mean, it's
one
just sad to
cornerback,
waste it
mm,
like that,
yeah,
cause like if they wouldn't have lost him, they wouldn't have been wasting that pick on that, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
The
But
Chiefs
again,
just have a heavy track record of not paying corners. It's just what they do. They draft good corners, develop them, and then get rid of them.
hey, that's pretty much the rest of our team's motto. We put everybody up to greatness and then don't pay them. So
Yeah,
Hmm.
baby.
that's why Tyler Lundebaum is sitting in freaking Las Vegas. That's why Patrick Ricard, Jordan Stout, Isaiah Likely, and a plethora of others are
Jordan
sitting in New York right now.
Stout,
Are sitting
dude.
in New
Best
York right now.
punter
Jordan
in the
Stout.
league
Hold,
gone,
hold on, hold
dude.
on, hold on. But
Crazy.
again, way later rounds. We're not there yet. But the punter we picked up had such a great coughing corner punt this year. It was like 94%.
It was a
That
hot
guy
take.
could be a
I don't
monster.
give a. He ain't Jordan Stout.
We don't know. We didn't think anybody was going to be
I mean,
Sam
yeah,
Cook.
no,
We
I'm
didn't know anybody was
curious
going
to
to be
see
Sam
what he
Cook.
does, but god damn it, dude,
Yeah. Well, listen,
pissed
money,
off about that.
money
All right,
costs.
we gotta
Yeah,
move on to the
we got to get on.
Saints pick here,
Hold on.
number
Hold on.
eight
No,
pick.
we're
We
on
got a
7.
lot. Oh, I'm sorry, seven. I meant seven.
Seven,
I'm
seven, seven,
sorry,
seven, baby.
dyslexic.
We're on Sunny Styles. We already kind of said our thing about Sunny Styles, though. We think it
A
was a great
dog.
pickup. They needed
A
a
dog,
linebacker. They picked
100%.
up a dog. The Washington Redskins did their job. They did their due diligence, and they understood the assignment in the first round. Everybody
Yeah,
agree?
dude. He gonna be
Yep.
cooking this
Yeah.
year. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see it, man. And
Well,
ooh,
now
baby.
can I say a little side piece to this NFL draft? I ain't seen so many grown men cry in my whole life of an NFL draft.
Yeah.
Every old boy that came out that tunnel, he was
Hmm.
balling. I'm like, dang, gum, are we good? Like, are you sad? Are you happy? Are you like, damn, I wish I went to another team? Or this is the happiest day of my life because I wanted this since I was 5 years old? I didn't know.
I mean,
I didn't
shit.
know.
Half these dudes probably are crying because a lot of them do go to shitty teams as good players, number one overall. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. It's the way the draft works, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't seen no Samoa. You ain't seen no Samoan cry, though. Them boys were like, let's go. And you're like, yeah, they're going to kill people. Like, okay. So we're all good on that one. So then we get
It is.
to the Saints.
What about Kyle and Truman back here? I mean, these
Yeah, what
two
y'all
guys
got?
ain't even talking, and I can't stand it.
I was agreeing.
Druin?
Oh,
Druin might be walking in the house. We fine with that. We'll give him.
damn.
No,
No,
there he
no,
is.
no, no. I'm in agreement. Absolutely. Sunny Styles, great.
All right, so we want to flip forward, and we're going to go to Truin and Kyle first on how do you feel about the Jordan Tyson pickup for the
The
Saints,
Saints, man.
the,
For the
the
Saints.
Nolans Saints.
I think it'll be a good pickup, especially to also give a little bit of relief off of Chris Olave. I mean, Chris Olave had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
I mean,
Man.
if you didn't pick him in fantasy, you're kind of crazy. And I know with our league, he was pretty much tied up all year. I believe he did have a mid-season to end of season injury, but overall, he still had a great season.
Hey, he wasn't no JSN or Puka Nakua though. I'll tell you that.
Sure
Poor
was.
guy
Yeah, well,
Olave. I
It's
feel like he has
crazy.
to
It's
step up.
crazy when you win in the fantasy league and you don't even have either one of them.
Hey, you
Puka
know what?
Nakua is a 6th-round pick. So
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Overall, though, yes, I think it's a great pickup for the Saints. They got to figure out their quarterback situation.
See, and I thought you were going to say that, and I thought some people were going to say that. I think Tyler has a shot. If you get the right, again, what does being a great quarterback in the NFL come down to, guys? We're talking about
Winning.
all these players winning, yeah, but what helps you win? What's the biggest part of it? That
Decision
Lineman,
line.
making.
That line.
Oh
that
yeah, the
line.
The
line. I thought you
time.
meant the
The time.
quarterback
No,
himself.
the
I'm
time
sorry.
to stand back there and do what you've done for 15, 20, however many years you've done it for up to that point. If you ain't got a line, it don't matter how great you are.
Look at Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter how great you are if your offensive line is porous. And that's the problem with our first pick. That's the problem that we're going to talk about a lot of these quarterbacks. That's a problem that will be for, a lot of quarterbacks going forward that got picked up that might got and realistically, not to be rude, I think that's a lot of the Minnesota problem with JJ McCarthy. When you're running for your life the whole time, like it's hard to be great. Not
Yeah.
many people are great
Yeah.
running for their life.
Minnesota's got a great. I feel like JJ McCarthy could be something absolutely great, but when you have a bunch of big guys on the line that can't guard a wall of paint, it makes the
Yep.
quarterback spot irrelevant. And it
Yeah,
also doesn't give a running back time to make a play.
you're
Doesn't
correct.
give anyone time to
And
make a
it
play.
makes it makes them gun shy. It makes them scared because they know they're about to get murdered every time they drop back. Because you got to think when a quarterback's got that ball back, gentlemen, and he's letting that go, those ribs are fully exposed. If you don't trust that line, you know you're about to get
Oh yeah.
murked. Like I'm telling you, like that's my biggest thing with a lot of these quarterbacks that were picked early. Well, we'll get to one that was picked early that we're all probably going to lose our stuff about
Yeah.
here in a, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna lose our stuff here in about a couple seconds. So then you got so we all think I think Jordan Tyson was a good pickup. Do I think it solves immediate issues? No. I think again they needed a wide receiver to bank Chris Olave. Yes, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Just
did they
to
need more to protect? More protection? I think they needed protection over like I always feel like the Saints just make a splash pick that we're like, "Oh, that guy's great." But he never pans out to be great because the guy throwing the football to him is getting murdered.
If they still
and
had Drew Brees, I think they would be
man,
fine.
Yeah.
man,
Well,
the
Drew Brees also had a great offensive line.
He indeed did, and ever since he retired, they've fallen apart as a whole franchise.
yeah, I agree with Truin on that. I think it helps. Tyson helps alleviate some of that workload from Olave because I feel like I had Olave in fantasy and I feel like he's been ridiculed with injuries, especially concussions over the past 2 years. Like the dude, I even thought I seen him about something about him considering retirement. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I'm like, man, like I know for a fact he's had multiple concussions, so I
Yeah,
think
it's
it'll
because of
definitely help.
injuries. They did release
Yeah,
press release saying that he was possibly looking at early retirement, but due to injuries for lack of care for whenever the quarterback's throwing up the ball, he knows he's getting hit no matter where he's at on the
yeah,
field. He's getting slammed as soon as that ball touches him.
yeah. Olave is a great receiver though. He'll have a good season coming up with Tyson drafted though.
Definitely, yeah, because it's gonna take some pressure off them because now they have two people. They have a double-headed snake now again. Luckily,
Yeah,
it's not just Olave because their tight ends are. I mean, I had their tight end Jawan Johnson. Not saying he's bad. He was actually pretty good for me on fantasy this year, which was wild. But
Juwan
like,
Johnson.
yeah, but there's not a lot there to kind of take the pressure off of that man. Alvin Kamara's numbers have went down.
oh man.
Why has one of the top running backs in the NFL for a solid 5, 6, 7 years went way down? Well, because
Oh,
every time he hits the line, he gets destroyed. And he's getting older. So it's double. So he's getting double whammied. He's getting, oh, wait, I'm getting older. I'm not as quick with the step. And oh, wait, by the time I get to the line's done giving up and I'm murdered. I'm going down.
yeah.
You
Unless we
know?
want a 4 hour sports talk, though, we might want to get back on track.
Yeah, let's get to it. All right. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
man.
move. So let's move on to Cleveland.
This
Cleveland
is a six
goes
hour
the
podcast.
safe. I think they go the safe route. They trade back. They get a couple extra picks in the draft, and they pick arguably one of the best two out tackles in the line, the one without injuries. And they try to sew up. Didn't they just lose? Who'd they just lose? Joe Thomas. Am I right on that, gentlemen?
Uh, I I
I
know of
don't know.
somebody on the line.
Yeah, I want to say it was Joe Thomas, maybe retired. Um,
Yeah, probably.
I think that's what it is. So they basically found his replacement. So don't know much about Spencer Fano. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch a lot of Utah football,
I
so I'm not
don't.
gonna sit here and say I know a lot about him. But if they're picking him number 9, he must be something. He can't be no chump in the game. So I feel like a lot of Samoan offensive linemen went out in the first round real quick and in a hurry.
For sure
So
did.
so that was a big thing. I mean, because they were pretty much
They some
back to back nine.
dogs.
Yeah, they were back to back 9 and 10, and we already talked about the Giants. So then we flipped to the Cowboys at 11.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
That dude's
hoping that
he's
we take
massive.
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
That was my number one.
massive, massive O tackle.
Who is?
Our next
No, you
pick.
talk about Caleb
Oh
Downs, the
yeah, oh yeah,
safety for
yeah,
the.
we're not there yet. We're
Yeah.
at Caleb Downs, the safety. So,
Hmm.
I mean, the Cowboys did the damn thing. They moved up a spot. Do I know that the Miami Dolphins were gonna take him? I don't believe
Nah.
so. Because if we go past Caleb Downs, which we all think is an excellent pick, are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who
Oh
did they
yeah.
trade up
yeah.
for? Who did they trade up for that pick? I forget.
Solid.
So they trade Miami. They went from 12
That's
to
right. That's right.
11, and Miami went from 11 to, and then so that's a solid pick. And then we turn around to Miami, who picks an absolute like case. Like Caden Proctor is such a like project lineman. He shouldn't have even went in the first round. Like, and every pundit agrees with that. This kid has a horrible two-step off the line. He misses easy blocks. He has a short arm span. He is a project lineman to a T. And I felt like this is where some of the picks, like it was back-to-back picks here, gentlemen, that were just like left people with their heads scratching. Like you got Caden Proctor, which we all probably, I don't know how much y'all know about Alabama football. I get to watch it
Roll
every
Tide.
year. I get to watch it every year
I'm
due
gonna
to
piss my number.
yeah being there. Um, but then they turn around and we get to probably the worst pick of the first
Oh
round,
my
in my
god.
opinion. Is everybody in
Ty
agreement? The
Simpson?
worst pick?
I'm in agreement for sure. Ty
That
Simpson.
is
I
the
did not
Yeah,
think he was
dude.
worst.
going first round, and I also didn't know. I thought Miami would take Ty Simpson if anybody were to take somebody from Alabama off that first round.
I mean,
But
listen, the only thing I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for is how long does Matthew Stafford have left in the tank?
he probably
Doesn't
retires within the
Yeah,
next two.
Doesn't matter.
coming off of that season
yeah,
last year though.
that's what
Doesn't
I
matter.
I'm
mean,
He's the
saying. But
MVP.
like, I
bro,
get
He's the
that.
that
I
MVP.
get
guy.
Ryan. I get that. But like, who they gonna get to replace him? They had a very good. They had a
You
first
have three
round
more
high.
years to figure that out.
Yeah, but
Don't
are
they
they
still?
gonna be any higher in these next
Don't they still
or
have
three
Stetson
years?
Bennett?
Yeah, there definitely
Yeah,
are.
true.
And even if they're not, you picked a guy when you could have gotten your MVP quarterback, someone to help him out to actually win the Super Bowl this year. Like
Yeah.
that's wild. Come on, dude. Like you were going to pick a quarterback that might play 4 years down the road, 3 years down the road
I
at
mean,
number 13.
LA pretty much did kind of like what Pittsburgh did last year. They're having somebody come in. I mean, granted, Will Howard was a national champion winner. There's no
Mm.
disagreeing with that. But they have somebody coming in behind a veteran. And maybe it's for experience. I don't know. I
But
don't
it's a
know why
year.
they took Ty Simpson, but
Yeah, no.
overall,
And
that's
I'll give experience, but you could have gotten experience a year or two from now. Give him something to help him win the Super Bowl while he's here. You have an MVP. That guy's not sitting on the bench. So you literally have a guy that's going to Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it's definitely
Team?
the most surprising pick in my
for
opinion. The
sure.
most surprising
I
pick.
mean, but you act like the Rams are going to go out on a limb and grab a wide receiver when they have people like Puka Nakua or
I
Devontae
mean,
Adams.
yeah, but
No.
like they could still use a little bit of help on the offensive line, in my
No,
Yeah,
no,
opinion. Like
I
no.
agree with
You
protecting
want
that.
Matthew Stafford for the next
you
2 years would
want
be
another
a
one?
bigger potential than
You want to know a
because
better
they
one?
are a Super Bowl potential team right now.
Yeah,
They
but
are. Their
you want to know a
defense
better
is
one?
fucking stellar.
Look at number 16. That's who you pick up. Look at the 16th in
Yeah,
the draft.
that's what.
That's who you
Yeah,
pick up.
and
Teddy
tight
Sadiq,
end.
a tight end that is a dog. And you just solidified your offense because your defense is already solidified.
Yeah, I mean Higby. Yeah,
Come on, dude. Come on, he ain't top 20. Come on.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that pick
Oh,
Yeah,
insane.
his overall grade is an 85 overall.
yeah. Like 85. And then you
Let's
go
go back up.
to
I mean, just Mendoza was a 92. Like, there's got to be
yeah,
something in between an 85 and a 92 if you're going first round draft picks
yeah.
for a
Like I keep
quarterback
saying
for help.
here, I'll say it
89.
one more time, is there's a lot of people getting paid a lot of money in a room to watch a lot of shit that we aren't seeing.
And
They're
Sean
doing this shit for a reason that we don't know about.
I
This is
mean,
all just opinionated.
do you think another team was gonna like if they didn't pick him there? Do you think another team was gonna like
Oh
take
no,
him in the
Ty
first
Simpson
round?
was
That's what
gonna
I'm
be there,
talking
in
about.
my opinion.
They
But
also,
It's a
somebody
waste of a
doesn't pick
first
in the
round
first
pick.
round.
It's a waste of
Yeah,
a
I
first round
agree.
pick.
I'm
I would
also
agree.
reading here. I also didn't know this that they traded up for Atlanta for that pick
that was a trade before the draft.
or before the draft
Yeah.
season,
Yes, that
maybe.
was before the draft.
I'll
Yes.
say when they were on the clock, I did not,
Yeah.
or when they were
Yeah.
like next in the circle, I did not know that that was actually there. Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking right now. So maybe, gentlemen, Arizona might have taken Ty Simpson with the 65th pick as the first in the third round because they took Carson Beck
Yeah.
out of Miami. Maybe, and then the Rams would have been. I'm looking for the Rams' next pick, and I'm already through. Okay, LA would have had the next pick would have been pick 93 in the third round after that first round pick because I don't think they had a second
Well,
round
then
pick
maybe
there.
that's why they went quarterback because they
Maybe
knew they weren't getting another pick for almost 80 positions.
I'm looking to make sure that they're not in the same. They are
80K.
not. No, they are. They got the 61 pick in the second round.
Okay.
They picked the tight end then, so they could have picked the best tight end in the first round, and I
Sadiq,
guaranteed
yeah.
you he still would have been there.
The, the
He
quarterback
would have
selection in this draft was slim to
was
none, in my
slim.
opinion.
It was so bad. I would have waited till next year. You
Yeah,
got
there was
way
Yeah.
only
better
two
people coming
quarterbacks
out.
that were taken in the whole first round. One was
Yeah,
overall for Fernando Mendoza, and then it was Ty
yeah.
Simpson. That was it.
Yeah, and I mean, you had so much more. I mean, and you could just go down the list after that. That was back to back. Then you go to the number 14th pick, which is where we will go next. I'm not even going to talk. I'm going to let everybody else start this one off. How does everybody feel about the 14th pick?
I like it.
I'm gonna go second to last here because this is one of my favorite players of all college football this year.
Okay.
I
All
like
right.
it.
So
I-
you like
I'm
it?
in.
All
I'm
right.
in
Yeah.
agreement, Ryan. Me and you were wanting him from the beginning.
I know you guys got a lot to say, so I'm gonna let you go in on it.
Miggy, you got any comments before
What
Smithy starts his
four-
montage?
14th pick? Refresh. Is that the Ravens pick?
Yeah,
Yes,
our
sir.
guard that we got, this
Yeah.
big Samoan
Yeah,
motherfucker,
we
dude.
got Vega Ione.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's a dog. That's probably no, that's big time for the Ravens for sure.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm gonna start this out with saying this is the second best pick of the draft of what a team actually really needed and what the player is gonna fill that spot and do for that team. I think the Ravens got the second best pick of the first round draft at the 14th slot with what they needed to fill in their gaps that were missing on their team right now. Obviously, I am a little biased because the Raven is my hometown team. It is my team personally, so it holds a special spot in the heart for me. Now, the player alone coming out of Penn State is a dog all in himself. I mean, the dude is an absolute beast. He doesn't care who's in his face. He's gonna throw you to the side and he's gonna bulldoze over you. And that's just who he is as a person. I mean, the tapes of him in the locker room and in the weight room are just disgusting. The type of human beings that they're breeding to put out on these football fields anymore. So that's where I'm at with it. That's my hot take for it on pick 14. I'll let you guys take it
All right,
over
go
from
ahead
there.
real quick and finish off with him, and then I'm going to state my statement.
All right. So let's talk about him. The guy literally came out of the draft and said, no one, and I mean no one, is going to touch Lamar Jackson on my watch. Like, and if you watch the way this guy moves around a line and pivots and comes from the left side to the right side and absolutely murks defensive ends and edge rushers and linebackers. I
Yeah,
mean, the
it's
guy,
crazy.
the
Pick
guy
off
lived.
artist.
Yeah, he lives for impact. He lives. Hit me, and I'm gonna hit you harder. Hit
Yep.
me, and let's see who's bigger and badder. and he lives for this stuff. This is the most Raven pick of the first round that I have seen in years. He is the quintessential let's knock each other's heads off, and I bet you I'm the one still standing.
Hmm?
Absolutely.
That
Ione is
is
like he's like a he's a cultural player like that the Ravens desperately needed. He also is like very aggressive when he pushes downfield. He'll actually drive and pave a lane downhill for like Derrick Henry to get a running route. Or
correct.
I mean, genuinely, he reminds me. I mean, not the same position in a sense, but it's still on the offensive line. He reminds me of Michael Orr,
No, nope. You know who he reminds me of? Marshall Yonda.
Big bad
the
Yonda.
ginger,
Yep. He
the
reminds
ginger.
me of Marshall Yonda, a guy who does not give up sacks, who always makes a hole. Michael Orr was great on the line, but it was very short lived. I think Vega is going to be on our team for 10 plus years. We are
He
going to
wanted to go
pay
back to
him.
the bus,
Yeah,
coach.
we are going to keep him on our team because he plays a Raven style football game of smash mouth, which is what the AFC North has been built on since the AFC North became it. We are all about hit each other in the mouth and see who can hold up. I
I
think
agree.
we
Yeah.
picked the perfect piece. That is the perfect chess piece. I called that 2 weeks before the draft who I wanted, and Watto
That
Truant
is
can
correct.
admit to this
That
because
is
I
correct. Me and
literally
Ryan were in agreement
called
that we
him.
wanted Vega Ione from the jump.
We wanted, unless we were going to trade up to get something stupid good. This is who I wanted. The Ravens chose the safe bet to pick the guy that they needed to fill a huge hole that is going to be, I'm sorry, 1,000 times better than Falele, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, the
And
only person that I would have said the Ravens overall would have probably traded up to get a better pick would have been Washington for linebacker for Sonny Styles, but we don't desperately need a linebacker.
No.
no, we don't need it.
Mm.
We don't need it
But
that
that's why I'm
serious.
saying overall, and
No.
this is purely biased, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think Baltimore has the best first round pick, in my opinion. There's some other good prospects,
That's
but I'm going number
that's
one.
gonna be that's gonna be tough for me. Caleb Downs for
The
falling to
Cowboys
11 for
is
the
another
Cowboys
one.
is
I'm in agreement.
wild.
I'm in
Um,
agreement.
yeah, that's a wild one. That I didn't see him fall. Arvel Reese falling to 5 to the Giants. He was arguably the best player in the draft this year. I mean, and we could go into the next one right with the same thing. Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami at 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
wild. Like that's crazy to me.
Hey, I mean, some teams are taking what they need to take at the right times, but other teams are taking what they need early on. So it's just the way it works out. Some people that you think are gonna go higher just aren't getting picked because teams don't need that slot filled right now.
Yeah,
Correct.
dude.
Yeah,
Like, what did we
I
get?
mean,
Ruben Payne at 15.
The one draft. What did we get Hamilton at? Like
uh,
14 or something too, or something like that.
14. We got him at 14. Yes.
Dude, he should have
Yes.
been top
So I
top
mean,
10 for sure.
easily, but
That, dude, that boy a
nobody
dog.
saw in Hamilton what actually came out in the NFL. I mean, the dude's a dog. I mean, but if we keep going through all this, I mean, guys, we're pushing almost the hour mark of our little chat here, and we ain't even halfway through the first round. We doing
Yeah.
a okay. But I mean, let's keep going. The next pick, 16. Anybody in agreement that wasn't a great pickup for the freaking Jets?
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
man,
they
Quick-
needed the tight end. I
They
mean,
yeah,
needed
they
it.
quick-
have Mason Taylor, but he's
They need
also
something out
fresh.
there with
So they
Wilson.
needed a good tight end.
Yeah, they did it back to back years, but I think this is the perfect example of best player available.
Yep.
Like best player available. He was a stud tight end, and they're like, we got this second of our three picks, and he's the best player on the board. Let me grab this cat.
Yeah, and Ryan summed up exactly what I was going to say to a T. Is I think the Jets, chose the best overall player that was available for their pick at the time. I think they probably went in with a game plan, and then double looked once they got on the clock, and may have either had him in mind or changed, and I think they went with their best overall that they could have
The
had at
only
that time.
problem
So I agree with that.
with that pick, and it's not Sadiq's fault, but he had, in my opinion, I don't think they have a quarterback. I mean, no, they got Geno Smith, but I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not
no,
that's
agreed.
not the
No, their
answer.
offensive line still needs a lot of work, buddy.
Yeah, but Sadiq Bey, himself, he's an absolute freak of nature, man. Like he's gonna be a dog for sure.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah,
pick.
and
I
I
like it a
mean
lot.
we can if we're all in agreement on that, we'll move into my second favorite NFL team here at pick number 17, taking an offensive tackle out of Clemson, Blake Miller. How we feeling about that one?
I mean, easy pick. I mean, it's something they need. They know
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Losing
Yep.
Montgomery in the offseason, Jameer Gibbs is going to be a big target for defenses. They needed a solid, stellar offensive tackle, and this kid is a 4-year starter with a impeccable record at
Yep.
tackle. Like,
Yep.
can't knock it. I mean, what are you going to knock? I mean, he
I
does
mean,
his job in the
yep,
trenches.
I'm gonna go into that. I mean, we've already seen the defensive, the offensive line open up some huge holes for Montgomery, who's got some crazy legs under him. I mean, dude can get up to 23, 24 miles per hour in an open sprint, so that's fast as a little human being can run. And I think this guy was a perfect pick for them to put up a little bit more numbers this year and open up them holes a little bit wider for him to just, keep breaking a little bit more this year. So I think looking for a lot of good things out of that backfield this year for sure.
Hmm.
Everybody
Yep.
in agreement with that, right?
Yeah, I like that
I
pick.
mean,
Yeah.
overall, I'll state one thing real quick, and we'll move on. Did you guys know he's got almost the longest reach at his position? He has a 34 and a quarter inch reach as
Yeah,
an
I mean,
offensive tackle.
I
Yep.
will say this though, not many people on this list are 4-year starters in college. You know what I mean? Like that is very, very hard to do.
Yep.
Just saying.
He's as plug and play as you can get. He's
Oh,
overall a good pick. I think they did great.
absolutely. And like I give people that can play 3 to 4 years in college a little bit more credit coming into the NFL just because of the experience they already have on the field.
Experience, and you got to stay healthy.
Yep. And
Absolutely.
he did.
The play
And he
time that
did.
they look through. Um,
I mean, you gotta look at the kid. The kid played 3,778
In 78 games.
yeah.
snaps. No, 3,778 snaps while starting 54 games. The kid did not get hurt.
Nope.
He didn't, and he was there every time. The dude was exactly what they need. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be healthy.
And
He's
for
gonna
a
stay on
stellar
the field.
football team like Clemson.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's
exactly.
very explosive. It's very hard to get around the dude if you actually
That's what I'm
watch tapes
saying.
from him
Yeah,
or Clemson.
I would watch, especially if he comes into Detroit and just starts this year as a starter. Look out for some holes his way. I tell you that right now. It's gonna be a little crazy.
All right, let's
Yeah,
go
But
on.
Jameer gonna
yeah,
hit them holes.
moving
Let's
on
go on.
to another one that I thought was a little
No,
surprising in my
this one
opinion
was
here.
no. This pick right here is probably the second behind the
Yep,
Simpson pick, where I was just like, "What are we doing?"
correct.
Yeah,
I am with
okay.
Miggy on that one.
Glad we're in agreement
Yep,
on that,
yep.
because like
Just a
I
bad pick.
wasn't gonna go as far as stretching my words to saying the second worst pick of the draft, but I was just like,
Definitely.
what are we doing here? We don't like you guys didn't need that in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion, whatsoever. Like
Drafted
a
a guy
defensive
with
tackle for the Vikings right now is like,
and
why?
Bro, I don't
this
even
is a
want to talk
guy
about this
who
pick.
last year got hurt. He only made 3 starts, and in those 3 starts, he only had 6 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. So I don't know if they're banking on him just coming back and being like an Aaron Donald esque type player. But statistically, I mean, this guy is injury prone, and he's not. I'm just I don't know. I don't know what that
I
pick.
feel
That
like
pick kind of just
Minnesota should have focused more on offensive line than defensive line because they got to keep that quarterback safe.
I
Or
agree.
not the Lions,
Agree.
the Vikings. Sorry.
The
But yeah,
Agree.
Vikings,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, that's
Oh,
what I meant.
yeah, you flip to the next one right behind it, and the Panthers pick up a great O tackle out of Georgia. There you
Yeah.
go, Minnesota.
Yeah.
How about you
Yep.
pick that guy up in Morgan Freeland,
Yep.
and you get
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy to not get murked every week, and
Yep.
wonder why the kid ain't performing.
I'm surprised
Mhm.
Carolina also didn't try to trade up.
They didn't need to. They got what they needed. They needed something
They
to
did.
protect Bryce Young, and they got their tackle because the Vikings decided to pick somebody with a broken foot that weighs 330 pounds, and we don't even know if he's going to be able to stand on it this year the right way.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I'll tell you this right now. I mean, especially after New York taking the surprising one at 10, just because he's injury prone, I would say, especially Carolina was definitely after Cade Proctor. Like if he was still there, that's where they would have went. instead of going with Monroe, but that's just my opinion. I knew what they were probably looking for from the rip, but
Yeah, but
you
you also
know,
got to look
and
at Monroe Freeland was the second in his position, and he
yeah,
dropped to 19.
yeah,
They took Caden Proctor at what number was that again? 12, and he was the third. They took him above the guy who was the number two ranked at his position, who is more polished, more NFL ready, more ready to plug and play than what Miami picked up. I'm sorry, the kid played for a team that is one in the SEC and two was in the championship, was in the playoff realm.
yeah, yep,
Like,
I agree.
sorry, I don't see why Miami didn't pick him over Caden Proctor. It's wild to me, but they also are the team that picked Tua and let him go on the field twice and get overly concussed to where he can barely play football anymore. But we
Yeah.
digress.
Hey, Kyle, why don't you start on this number 20 crazy ass pick we had here, moving up above that Pittsburgh shit. Let's see what you got on that.
I mean, yeah, dude. Steelers fans got to be sick. But yeah, I mean, dog. I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah,
I mean, bro, I
that's
think,
what
yeah.
there's to say.
Hey, yo.
AJ replacement. That's what
I
it
They
mean,
is.
you're about
took
to
a
see, yeah,
Makai Lemon
out there with
Nathan.
Devontae
when
Smith.
you knew Pittsburgh wanted when you knew they wanted a wide receiver.
Oh, dude,
You knew they
they
wanted
already had
one.
this dude on the phone.
Right.
Already had him on the phone
They
because
said we're gonna
they
go
knew
ahead
that
and steal
Dallas
you
wasn't
from
taking him.
Pittsburgh.
Already had him on the phone, and then Philly was like, "Ha ha! Wait a minute, he's ours." That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was.
honestly, my lemon, he's a dog, but I'm not buying into the hype. Like
Whoa.
he's good, but yeah,
Oh.
that's my hot
Oh.
take. I don't think he's gonna
Oh.
be as
He-
I don't
his
think he's gonna
position
be
rank
as
was
good.
number one out of all wide receivers
Yeah, you
coming
Mm,
got
into the
crazy for
draft.
saying that, dude.
Number
Dude,
one,
I don't know, bro. We'll
and
it's
you
see. I mean,
think?
I'm sure
Makai,
he'll be good,
bro.
but
It's
Yeah,
Makai Lemon. Dude, hey, yo.
yeah.
we'll
Listen,
Listen,
see.
hey,
listen.
listen. Everybody's
I'm not a
entitled
fan
to
of
their hot
Pittsburgh.
takes. I think he's gonna be fired.
Listen,
That's my
listen.
opinion.
1,000 yards this year behind Devontae Smith in touchdowns, though. Hey, you watch. You
Hey,
watch.
I
We
mean,
all should just be
very
grateful that he wasn't going to Pittsburgh. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, no,
Nice,
I'm
nice.
glad. I'm glad.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
No. Instead, we flip out from Makai Lemon, who one person's hot take is he ain't gonna be anything, to the Steelers picking a panic pick of an O tackle.
a panic pick. That's the perfect way to describe that.
I think we
That's what
paid
it is. It's
Philly
a
to.
panic pick. They knew what
I
they
think the
wanted.
Ravens paid Philly to make that pick just to shuffle
Right,
him up in the draft.
right. Like, bro, this ain't a. You went from the 1, 2, and 3 guy pick to they picked the number 6 tackle in the draft. The number 6th ranked tackle out of left field. They're like, oh, Max. What? Everybody's like, huh? Okay, he's a good dude. He's probably a good tackle, but god dang, Gina, like what? Like, what are we doing here? And I don't even want to talk about the Steelers because fuck the Steelers. We all know this. We all know
Yeah.
how I feel about that. So, and then you come back, and I mean, I'm going to be honest. If we look through the rest of the first round and we really give it a good look all the way down, I mean, I'm a big A&M fan. Y'all know this. I think that the Browns got a dog in Casey
Oh yeah.
Concepcion.
Yeah,
He's a
Concepcion.
monster.
baby,
He
He's
was.
a
KC.
monster.
I
He's a
was hoping
monster.
that Kansas City at the number 29 pick, he would still be available because that's who I
Yeah,
really wanted to
he's a
choose.
dog. Yeah, he's a dog. I mean, throughout the rest of the draft, I mean, because we run a little long on our time here tonight, boys, but it's
Yeah.
a okay because it's draft night. But realistically, like the rest of the first round, just kind of rounds out with some things that are mad at okay. I'm not doing anything great. I mean, I do think that Kansas City picked up a good player in Peter Woods when they picked up that D tackle out of Clemson. The boy's a dog. I think they did the best with KC going early. I think they were looking to get KC. I think Malachi Lawrence to the Cowboys to give them some edge pressure uh with Micah being gone is a good pick.
Hmm.
But the rest of it overall to me is just kind of
Do you
for
like
the end of a
the
first round was
Darius
meh.
Price pick?
The which one?
the Jadarian Price pick, the last pick of the draft, that
I
running
think they
back.
I think they needed to. I think they
Yeah,
Yeah.
had
no,
to.
I was
Losing
about to say. I
KW3,
was
they
about to
had
say.
to.
Nah,
Yeah.
listen, that was no, that was such a smart pick for Seattle at number 32. He was the second running back taken. They had
Mhm.
just lost their stud, dude. They had
Mhm.
the pick of the frickin' litter. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me,
And
dude?
they
That's
have
a
somebody behind.
steal for
Yeah.
them at pick 32. That's all
And they
I'm
have
saying.
somebody that can get behind the guy that was with KW3. What's his name,
Right.
Smitty? What's his
Yeah.
name?
The
What's
the
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 Um.
stat
Uh.
we call him
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
stat
Yeah.
stealer. We call him the
Yeah.
stat stealer.
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet.
It's not
Charbonnet.
Shanahan.
Charbonnet.
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 Zach Charbonnet. Correct. Thank
He's
Yeah.
you
the
for letting me
touchdown
know.
stealer.
There you go.
Charbonnet.
But like, there's somebody with him. Like, so I feel like the end of the first round was just, to me, in my opinion, kind
Yeah.
of like,
Like meh.
okay,
No, hey, hey,
like
hey!
man.
I
I
do
was like,
want to talk
okay,
about number 30 here, though. Omar
uh,
Cooper Jr. You know, was a
Omar
not
good
Cooper is a
pick.
impressed.
dog.
Not
Yeah,
impressed.
okay. All
He's a
right,
dog.
whatever, man.
I'm just
I'm
not.
telling you,
He's a dog.
looking
That's what I
back,
was trying to get at.
Yeah,
He's a
bro.
good pick going to a bad team.
we're gonna
Sadly, damn it! If I was allowed to speak,
we're gonna look
No,
back at that Indiana team and realize how many dogs they had on their team.
yeah,
right?
that's why Fernando Mendoza looks so good, and now the Raiders are gonna stink.
Real quick though, hot take. I think Mendoza's gonna be a bust. He's
Think
gonna
it's
be a
yeah,
bust.
hey, listen, if anybody knows Bust that's picking the first round, #1
It's
overall
the Raiders.
quarterback, it's the Raiders, baby, with Jamarcus Russell. So they know
I'm just
how to do it right.
I'm just
So,
hoping he is, just because I have to. We the Chiefs have to play him twice a year, so.
yep.
And
Yeah,
he's
I know
such a
you're
nice
hoping for
guy,
that.
you know what I
He
mean?
is.
It's just
He's
like,
such a good dude. But like overall, I think the first round was fun. I think it was entertaining. There was, of course, some
hmm
things that everybody scratched their heads about. I think y'all are in agreement with that. That there was just some things that we were like, "What?" But overall, I think it was a good first round of the draft. You know, I think we're gonna get more involved next week with the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. We're gonna burn through them, and the seventh, we're gonna burn through them a little faster and
Mm.
just kind of give overall grades of how we
This is
feel they
definitely going to
went.
be a 7 episode series. So make sure everybody
No,
stays tuned.
I think we're
Maybe.
gonna
I
cut
don't know
that
if it's
down a
going that
little
long.
bit. The one was what round one was really important, gentlemen. But you know, the rest of the rounds, I mean, we're gonna have some hot takes. We're gonna have some talks. So yes, absolutely, like Truan said, please tune in. You know, next week to more draft talk. We will be going and pivoting at some point down the road back to the NBA playoffs to give you guys a little bit more to give you a little bit more thought
Right.
process on that. Um, any final